Good morning, dear students. Welcome to today's class. So we are in chapter 8, that is roots and flowers, and today we are going to discuss about the uses of roots and flowers. So before that, let's have a quick recap of few important things which we have already discussed in this chapter. So these are some of the examples which we have already discussed. So this is a example of a taproot system. Now this is a carrot, and as we can see here we have a main root. So these are main root which are also accompanied by some lateral roots which is arising out of this main root. So these are hairy structures. These are actually lateral roots that grow sideways, and this is the main root. Now this part which we eat is actually the main root of the plant carrot, and this we take as eat it as food. So this is an example of taproot system. Then we have another example of taproot system, which is dandelion plant. Here also we can see this is the main root and some lateral roots are arising out of it. So this is again example of a taproot system. Then we have beetroot. Similarly, it is also a taproot system. This is the main root, and then the small lateral roots are also present there. So the characteristics feature of taproot system is they have a main root and then some lateral roots which arise from the main root, but the main root is not present in fibrous roots. So let us see few examples of fibrous roots. Now these are some examples of fibrous roots like grass. So the roots you can see here, they do not have any main root. All the roots look similar and they are quite thin and they spread randomly everywhere. So this is example of fibrous root system. Then wheat is also example of our fibrous root system. You can see here there is again no main root, only the similar roots are seen which are spread everywhere. So this is again example of fibrous roots. We have one more example. Now onion, it is also an example of fibrous roots. So these roots you can see here, they are all similar in structure and they don't have any main root present. So this is also an example of fibrous root. Then these are some of the common flowers which we see in our surroundings: hibiscus, sunflower, zinnia, jasmine, lotus, thunder lily, bottlebrush, and bougainvillea. So these are some of the common flowers which you can see in our neighborhood or in our surroundings. Then flowers, they develop from birds. The birds vary in shape and size. Young birds are covered with green leaf-like sepals. They protect the bud. So flowers, they develop from which part? They develop from birds, and birds may vary in shape and size. Young birds are covered with green leaf-like sepals and they protect the bud. So this green part which you can see here is sepals, and this protects the young birds. And what are birds? Birds are the place from where the flowers they arise. So as time goes by, the bud becomes bigger. After a few days it opens up to show the petals. So the petals, they come out from the birds only. Petals may be white or colored. As the buds open, the sepals curl back and remain at the bottom of the flower. So the sepals which you can see here, they remain in the bottom part of the flower. So functions of root. So today our main topic is uses of roots. So before that, let's discuss again little bit about functions of roots. So all plant parts perform different functions which help the plant to live and grow. So let us highlight few important functions of roots. First of all, it hold the plant in the soil. We all know the roots, they are responsible for holding the plant in the soil firmly. So roots hold the plant in the ground and keep it upright. Then the second function is absorb water, nutrients and air for the plants. So roots absorb water, nutrients and air from the soil and then supply them to the plant. If the roots get damaged, the plant will die. So the second function is what? They absorb water, nutrients and air from the soil, and then they transport it to the different parts of the plant, specifically to the leaves, because we know plants manufacture their food in the leaf only. So the main purpose of roots is to absorb the water and nutrients from the soil, and then it has to transport it to the leaves. Then next important function is store food. So there are certain roots which can store food. For example, carrots, which you have seen already. This is a root, and we can eat this part as food. Why? Because it stores food. Plants like carrot, radish and turnip store food in their roots. So these are some examples where food is stored in the roots. Then functions of flowers. Now main function of flower is to produce seeds, and most of the flowers grow into fruits which contain one or more seeds. So how they produce seeds? So seeds are produced in the fruits which grow from the flowers. So flowers are the part where which are responsible for producing seeds. How? First of all, the flowers, they develop into fruits, and once they develop into fruits, seeds are uh, seeds are developed inside the fruits. So these are some of the important functions of flowers and roots. So now let us discuss about uses of root. Okay, so uses of roots: food, medicine and protect the soil and help it to store food. Now uses of roots is different from what? The functions of roots. Now functions of roots, they are related only to what? How the roots are helpful to the plants. Here if you see, it is all about the plants. They help the plant to hold it in the soil. They help to get water, nutrients. They help to transport water, nutrients and air to the leaf from the soil. So again, it is also related to what? Plant. Then they store food for the plants as well. So now when we talk about uses, it is about how they are useful to us, that is we human beings, how, in what way they are useful to us. So here it is not about how they are useful to the plants themselves, but here we are talking about how they are useful to ourselves or to us. So first of all, it provides food. We all know that there are certain roots where food is stored, and examples are carrot, beetroot, turnip. We have already come across these examples. So they have food and nutrients stored in it, so they can be used as food. Then also there are certain roots which can be used as medicines. Such plants such as ginger, turmeric. So these are some few examples of plants whose roots can be used as what? Medicines. So ginger and turmeric are the plants whose roots are used to make medicines. Then protect the soil and help it to store water. Now the roots, they can hold the soil tightly together, and thus they can prevent the soil erosion. They can prevent the washing away of the topmost fertile layer of the soil due to heavy rainfall or strong winds. So it also helps to protect soil, to prevent soil erosion, we can say rather. And it helps to store water. So along with that, it also stores water as groundwater, and that groundwater we use for our various needs. So roots hold the soil and protect it from getting washed away by rainwater, specifically when water, or during flood also, when water moves, it may carry away the topmost layer of the soil. So that is prevented when there are trees or plants grown, because their roots can hold the soil tightly together. Moreover, they help the soil to absorb and retain water. So this is again an important function, to absorb and retain water, and thus we can extract the groundwater from the soil. So uses of flowers, how flowers are useful. Now the way roots are useful to us, similarly flowers are also useful to us. Like roots, flowers are also useful to us. Now roots also provide food. Some of the roots, similarly, there are certain flowers which can be also used as food. For example, some flowers like cauliflower are used as vegetable. So you can see here, this cauliflower which we eat as vegetable also stores what? Food, similar to that of root. So flowers too can be used as food. Now spice, now clove, you can see here, this is mainly used for spices, used as spices. Then we have medicines. Some flowers like rose and hibiscus are used to make medicines. Now what were the roots that were used to make medicines? It was turmeric and ginger. So here you can see roots which are used for making medicines are ginger and turmeric. So please remember these examples, they are very useful. You have to remember these examples, underline all the important examples mentioned in this paragraph. Then they are also used as perfumes and soaps. So flowers such as the rose, jasmine and lavender are used to make perfumes and soaps. You can see here the pictures. So certain flowers which has good fragrance can be used to make perfumes, and also they are used in making soaps to provide that fragrance. Then bouquets and decoration. So we have all seen in marriage parties, they are decorative, the decoration is done mostly with the help of flowers. Then there are bouquets which we can present to somebody, flower bouquet as gift. Then color, it is also used as natural color sometimes, like saffron is used in the food as food color, and marigold and zinnia are used for making colors to dye. So they are used to make some dyes which are generally used to make the clothes colorful. So these are some important uses of roots and flowers. Then the last topic is, when do flowers bloom? So there are certain flowers which are seasonal, they only grow in a particular season. So in some plants flowering happens only in a specific season. So let us see them one by one. In summer we see gulmohar, jasmine, lily and so on, whereas in winter we see rose, then chrysanthemum, dahlia and so on. So these are some examples of flowers that grow in different seasons, like gulmohar, jasmine, lily, etc. They are generally seen in summer, and in winter we see rose, then chrysanthemum, dahlia and so on. So they are seen generally in the winter season. So here are the pictures of such flowers: gulmohar, jasmine, lily, chrysanthemum, yellow petals. Then we have some flowers which bloom during day, and there are also flowers which blooms during night. So these flowers, like flowers blooms at different times of the day. Some flowers like the jasmine, they open up during night, and often the flowers that opens up in the night are white in color. So here you can see jasmine, it is white in color, and jasmine opens during what, night time. Now this they do generally to attract certain insects which flies during the evening or night time. So these flowers, they attract these insects for, as these insects are the great agent of what, pollination. So to attract these insects during evening, certain flowers they bloom during night. So jasmine is one of the examples. The flowers which open at night are usually white in color. So this is, we can see this is white in color. So they are usually white in color and they have a very pleasant fragrance. So their fragrance is very pleasant, and so they can attract insect. So find out the reason. So this is the reason which I have told, mainly to attract the insects that fly during evening time, so that they can pollinate. So these are some of the uses of flowers, and also we have spoken about how flowers they bloom during different times and also during different season. So with this we have come to the end of the chapter, and in the next class we'll start the revision for term 1. So that's all for today's class, my dear students. Thank you very much.